In a world where losing in your fantasy football league isn't an option, we present to you Triple Coverage Podcast.
Hey YouTubers, if you like what you see, make sure you click subscribe below. Today we're going to do our Thursday triple threat bet. And this time, we're back to a song. So crack a cold one and enjoy.
In a world where losing in your fantasy football league isn't an option, we present to you Triple Coverage Podcast.
Yeah, let's do it. Is it Mother's brand?
I
don't think it had the mother in it. I think he. I don't even know what that went generic. Wow. I'm just trying to let you know you had to shoot it back pretty good.
3.
Because it's so deep. Yeah.
And we are pretty deep. Deep into Thursday, deep into the season.
That's for damn sure.
We're back with our Thursday night triple threat episode. I am Jay Up, and I'm here with my brother James.
What's up, dudes?
And this is Triple Coverage Podcast.
We're here. We're back. Thursday night, punishment day.
Punishment day. Punishment will be served. And if you watched last week, you saw that the Wheel of Punishment landed on karaoke. So we're back to a song, and thankfully I didn't lose.
Yeah, that was Travis that spun the wheel for us. The one time he's here and he screwed me.
And
Just saying.
And then he's not back here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why he didn't participate last week. So he gets to spin the wheel, he gets to punish us, and doesn't get punished. I'm not sure how I like that shaking down for the future.
Comes in, drops a bomb, and leaves.
Yeah, and I knew as soon as he spun it and landed on karaoke, I'm like, okay, let me start writing a song now because I knew I was going to lose. I just had a feeling.
So we're going to review last Thursday's game, which was the Raiders and the 49ers.
Yeah, what a barn burner. Wait, you did say that you bet the over because you're going to bet the over until it goes otherwise.
I did.
And when San Francisco had 17 points at halftime, I thought, wow, okay. Like, I didn't think I was going to be worried about Oakland scoring.
I actually turned the game off in the second half. I watched the whole first half, but I did have over, but I had the Raiders and over. So it was 17-3 at halftime.
I think I did too.
The Raiders looked terrible, so I was like, I don't even care. Like, if this game goes over, the Raiders aren't going to come back. They look like hot trash.
8 sacks they gave up.
And against the Niners defense, it's not even that good.
They're just okay. They're just okay. Nick Mullins, though, I mean, again, I don't think this has anything to do with Nick Mullins' talent. Although he had a great game, I felt really good about him afterwards. He had an interview. He started crying at the end of the game. And they were interviewing him saying, like, you know, how's this feel? Like, you come in, last minute notice on a short week, come in and just dismantle the Oakland Raiders on national television. And he was like, his voice sounded like he was going through puberty. He started cracking. He started getting watery eyes and everything like that. And it was kind of cool to see that, you know, somebody still, his hopes and his dreams and everything he's done his entire life, he just shoved into the starting role and ends up coming out and beating the Oakland Raiders, which is a pretty big deal.
I'm sure the cameraman was like cutting onions on the side or something.
Oh,
like,
for sure, yeah.
Or just ordered a hot dog with like mustard and onions.
Maybe it's just a thing that every quarterback cries now. You had Derek Carr cry a couple weeks ago when he got hit. Now you got Nick Mullins crying when he wins. I guess there's crying in football now.
Good for Nick Mullins though.
Yeah, no, I think that he should start next week until Jimmy Garoppolo comes back. But in the NFL and this league, if you have 2 or 3 games where you look like an average quarterback, he's going to get paid somewhere. That's the scary thing, is that you have guys like Mike Glennon and all these other quarterbacks that just won't go away. It's because they had flash forward 4 years ago when he had 3 or 4 good games against the Detroit Lions defense. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they get these outrageous contracts.
I actually read a tweet right after the game that said, like, good for Nick Mullins, because he's probably, if he just puts together one more good game, he's probably earned himself a job in the NFL for the next, like, 5 or 6 years.
Oh, easily. Yeah, if he has one more good game, which, who do they play this week, do you know?
The Giants on Monday night.
Monday night. So he gets a Thursday night televised game, Monday night televised game. And if he can win that game at home, like you just said, the funny thing that happened, did you see what happened during the game on Twitter?
With what?
So Nick Mullins has a Twitter, like everyone else does.
Right.
During the game, at halftime, Twitter, because so many people started following Nick Mullins,
out of nowhere,
he got verified during the game. You get the little
blue check mark,
which it's very hard to get. So his followers went from whatever it was, a couple thousand, to like hundreds of thousand followers, and got verified during halftime. So after the game, they told him, like, oh, just let you know, your Twitter's blowing up. And he's like, you got verified. He's like, I got verified on Twitter? He's like, wow. He's like, I guess that's pretty cool. Like jersey sales were skyrocketing for him. It's just a cool story to see, somebody like this succeed.
That is a cool story, and I hope he does well again, and I hope he can stick around the NFL, even if he's not going to be a starter anywhere. I hope he can stick around as a backup.
Well, we had one of our dynasty teammates go on and pick him up because he had Jimmy Garoppolo. And when Garoppolo got hurt, he went on and spent a bunch of money on getting C.J. Beathard.
Yeah.
Then he went and spent the whole rest of his money getting Nick Mullins. I'm thinking, what is this guy doing? Because he's still trying to win. He's like at that point, he was 7-1, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, 6-2. He ends up starting Nick Mullins and has a great game. And now that team's 7-2. It's keeping his playoff hopes alive, starting Nick Mullins.
That's unbelievable.
Great
I can't
fantasy
believe
move
he
by
did as
him.
good. I didn't know if it was so much Nick Mullins has that much talent, or the Raiders just had no tape on him and they don't care. The Raiders don't care.
It's a little of both.
The Raiders should be Travis's favorite team because they don't care.
Well, when they move to Vegas, Travis will follow them because he has multiple teams already. So I'm sure that when Oakland comes to Vegas, he'll add that to the bunch.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Well, there you go. Biggest story out of this, Mostert broke his arm.
Yeah,
it was
nasty looking. Did you see it?
He rolled over and he looked like T-Rex. Like his arm was half the size that it should be, and it was just
Yeah.
kind of dangling there. I kind of felt bad for him because the guy's been running great. He had 7 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown. He gets hurt. So now you have no Jerick McKinnon. You have no Mostert. You have basically Matt Breida and Alfred Moritz, which is what they had a couple weeks ago before Mostert broke onto the scene there. So, and wide receiver-wise, I don't trust Garcon.
No, but you know who I was surprised and actually kind of happy because I have him in 2 leagues.
Should be Kittle.
Richie James.
No, it should be Kittle.
Kittle's the number one option. Kittle's the number one option by far and away.
Kittle won you the punishment this week.
Even when you have a young quarterback, they're always going to look to their tight ends as like a safety valve.
Yeah.
He happened to break a long one. It was 71 yards. He got tackled without scoring the touchdown there, but he ended up getting the touchdown on the next play.
Yeah, that's what cost me the win.
So he caught all 4 of his targets, and he's going to be the safety valve. I was actually happy to see Richie James get a little bit of playing time because I think he's pretty good. I know he's a smaller receiver.
He's so fast, man.
And he's kind of down on the depth chart, but I think that the future is going to be Dante Pettis and Richie James. And you still have Goodwin, who's not old, but he's on the older side as far as these two guys go.
Yeah, Pierre Garcon next year, I say they pretty much push him out, and they go with Goodwin, James, and Dante Pettis. And I think that's a really good young receiving core for Garoppolo. And then you keep Kittle, obviously. You get McKinnon back. So future is actually not looking too bad for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I think it was a good game. And even next week, they have the Giants, like we said, on Monday night. Having no Mostert is...
Do they want to win?
I think the Niners will try to win. I didn't think that either team was full on tanking this last Thursday until I watched that first half. And the Raiders, man.
But they continue to cut guys. Like they're cutting, they cut Irving.
They cut Bruce Irving.
It's like, so you get Mack and
Now
Irving.
they have no
and
pass
Cooper.
rush at all.
And their offensive line. So the one thing they haven't really touched is the offensive line.
Right.
And the offensive line was so bad that it's like you can hate on Derek Carr and you can say how bad Derek Carr is, but if you don't get the guy enough time to pass, like they're gonna ruin him. He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. He's getting sacked 8 times. He probably got hit 14 times this game. Every single time he's throwing off his back foot, you can't succeed in that offense as a quarterback. Or if you're a wide receiver there, good luck. Good luck.
Carr got sacked 7 times, but
Right.
A.J. McCarron came in for a few plays. He got sacked once also.
Right,
just for good measure.
They gave up. The offensive line gave up 8 sacks,
Right.
and I'm sure they got hit a lot more times than that. So,
To me, the only one bright spot on the entire Oakland team was Doug Martin ran well. 11 carries for 49 yards, and obviously he was non-existent in the second half because they were behind by so many points. But that was mostly done in the first half. And
And a guy who hasn't been there for 10 years.
Right. You bring in Gruden, who hasn't done it in 10 years, like you said, and it's like, I feel like it's passed him up a little bit.
He's still running that Spider X, Banana Y, whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean?
And the Raiders are like, yeah, we don't want the young coach with the good offensive mind. We want the guy that's been around for, 25 years.
Basically hard-nosed football, run it up the middle, and make these short little passes or whatever. It's like, he should be on Dallas. He can fit right in there with that system.
Yeah, Dallas is a whole different story. I don't even want
to
talk about their offensive coordinator.
Well, that does, though, bring us to, is my punishment served?
No, for sure.
Say it.
For sure. Punishment served.
Thank you. I can cut that. So next week, we actually have a lot better game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, we do.
The Carolina Panthers, who are 6-2, are traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers, who I think are also 5-2-1 because they tied.
They tied that.
So you got Pittsburgh at home. The line is Steelers are favored by 4 points at home, and the over/under is 52.
And I'm back on the over train. I told you I'm going to keep betting over.
This is a game that I definitely want to watch the entire thing. I think this is going to be a really good game for fantasy-wise. Yes. I think it's going to be very entertaining. Both defenses are like average defenses, but both offenses are fun to watch. I don't know how Carolina scores. I say it every single week. And then what happened again this week? Curtis Samuel gets 2 touchdowns.
I feel like even though Carolina isn't one of those teams where you're like, wow, like they're fun to watch, I feel like they're never out of the game.
Oh,
like,
for
they're
sure.
Always in it. They always find a way to come back when they're down. And I know they have 2 losses, but I feel like they're always in the game.
The one knack that I saw the stat when I was watching the game last week, didn't they play Tampa last week?
The knock?
What did I say, knack?
Yeah.
One knock against them is their red zone defense. Like, they can't stop anyone in the red zone. Once you get there, you're in. You get to the 20, it might as well be the goal line.
So it's the exact opposite of Tennessee, because they were just saying Tennessee on Monday night that had one of the best red zone defenses.
Carolina was up by 28, I think, at one point against Tampa. And Fitzmagic, all of a sudden, it was 35-7 or something. All of a sudden, it's 35-28. And I'm thinking, what is going what happened? You held them for 7 points for so long. So I'm a little sketched out about Panthers' defense. It's not this world-beating top 6 or top 7 defense anymore. And same thing with Pittsburgh. So it should be a lot of scoring. 52 points is a lot of points, though.
They both have a very good run defense. Mm-hmm. But you can throw on them. Not a lot, but you can throw on them better than you can run on them.
Both are top 8 against a run.
Yeah, but the one thing that Carolina's going to have to use McCaffrey in the passing game more than they will in the running game, because I don't think he's going to find much room to run against the Steelers team, especially at home.
Which is perfect. If McCaffrey wasn't there, who's the running back to own there?
There isn't one. I don't want C.J. Anderson.
Isn't that crazy? McCaffrey at this point is now carrying the entire workload, and he basically is. I'm not putting him in the same sentence as these guys, but he's basically the Ezekiel Elliott's and the Todd Gurley's that there's no one taking anything away from him. They don't pull him at the goal line. They don't pull him on third down. He's getting the first and second down carries majority of the time now, too. He was number 8 running back going into this week in a PPR league and scored another 2 touchdowns. So that puts him in the top 5 or 6 of running backs. And this is a small, little squirrely white guy, and he's in the top 7, and he's basically doing everything for this team.
Yeah.
So, I love Christian McCaffrey going forward in this game. Like you said, he might not get any rushing or significant rushing yards, but I like him in the passing game as well.
Dump-off city.
And there's a lot of fantasy implications here. So we actually drew numbers for the Wheel of Punishment and for our guys. Do you want to go over the guys first? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the guys first, and then we'll spin the Wheel of Punishment.
Jay drew first. He drew the number 2 pick, though. So right? Yeah, I had the number 1 pick.
Yep.
I went with my man crush, which is Christian McCaffrey. If you couldn't already tell, I'm a huge Christian McCaffrey fan. So I took Christian McCaffrey with the number 1. Jay went
James Conner.
So we each have the running backs for each team first. I got the next pick. I took Antonio Brown for the Steelers, and Jay took
Devin Funchess, baby.
Yeah.
Bunches of Funchess.
I was kind of surprised you went Funchess over Olsen.
I thought about doing Greg Olsen, but I think Pittsburgh's pretty good against a tight end. I figured that Funchess is the number 1 passing option. I like him more than Moore this week.
Okay. You don't have to explain yourself to me. I'm sure it'll work out for you somehow. So we have been rotating, though. I think the last 5 or 6 weeks it's been you, then me, then me. So I lost last week, so hopefully I'm due for a win, maybe. My last pick, it was quarterback time, and I said, you know what, I can't even decide. I'll let you pick what quarterback you want. You went with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
So I got Cam Newton. So for James, Christian McCaffrey, Antonio Brown, and Cam Newton. And for Jay, James Conner, Devin Funchess, and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, no way I win this week.
At least there's not. Yeah, okay. James Conner's been. So this is James Conner's basically supposedly last chance before Le'Veon Bell comes back. He's already proven that he's definitely can carry the workload by himself.
100%.
But this is the last. If you're a James Conner owner, this is that one last week that you can be like, all right, I'm putting this guy in no matter what, and
let's get it done.
Yeah, let's roll the dice.
Why don't you spin the wheel? I'll hold the platform.
Let's see what we got here. We already did this one. Spoonful of sugar.
Again.
Okay. Blindfolded.
Oh, is that where we do the show blindfolded?
It's where you do the entire segment, basically. So the I guess you would do the preview, basically blindfolded. So you're not gonna be able to look at stats. You're not gonna be able to look at the lines. You're not gonna be able to look down a piece of paper, anything like that. We might spice it up by doing something else that me and him will talk about beforehand. But essentially, you're gonna be on your own. So no studying.
You're not gonna have any help. Yeah, you're not gonna have. Yeah, you're gonna have to just wing it and hope that you get some of this stuff right. Because right now we're looking at a big board. And we have it hooked up to Apple TV.
We have the internet here. I have a bunch of stuff written down on my piece of paper that I can reference. So we'll give you about a minute or two to go on and tell me what you think, and then I'll tell you where you're wrong, or you can tell me where I was wrong, because you're not going to be able to see.
Yeah, this is going to definitely be one where you're talking out of your ass.
See, this one I don't mind. I feel so much pressure doing a song. Like, there's so much pressure. It's just like to stay on beat, and you know you're being recorded.
For me, it's more finding a song than singing it.
Oh, was harder. I should have found it, wrote it, and then had you do it then.
I would have said I don't care about singing it. I just don't want to find the song that fits the.
So what are you taking in this game?
If it stays at 4, I'll probably take the Panthers. I think the Steelers win this game, but I think it will be by a field goal. I see it be a high-scoring game, and I think that if the Panthers can have the ball at the very end of the game, they may make it a close one. I think the Steelers do win this game straight up, though. I just think it's going to be a field goal.
Do you? Yeah. I'll take Carolina in this game on the money line. And if I'm doing that, I'll take the over. So Carolina money line and the over. Just for a small parlay, I'm going to make my bigger bet is going to be with the points, because I would hate for them to lose by 1, 2, or 3, or even 4 and get my money back. But the money line right now is plus 175. So if you do even like a $30 Panthers money line and over, it pay pretty damn well.
Look at the team stats though. Look down the bottom.
They're all even.
Yeah, Pittsburgh scores 28 points a game, and the Carolina Panthers score 27.5 points a game. Their defenses. Pittsburgh lets up 23.5, and Carolina lets up 22.5.
Right, they're right.
So it's like, they're right there. So to me, this screams like.
But see, look at the
whoever
difference.
Has the ball last.
Scroll up a little bit if you can. The difference to me is going to be in their running game. Look at the total yards. Yards rushing 144 for Carolina, and Pittsburgh's only 101 yards. So like if Carolina can stop the pass just a little bit. Then they'll be fine. Like, they'll be fine. And I think that's what's going to make the difference there, is that both teams are good against a run, for sure, but Carolina's averaging almost 150 on the ground.
But the Ben Roethlisberger home-road splits are a real thing.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, they've won how many games in a row? 4?
Pittsburgh's won 4 in a row.
Pittsburgh's won 4 in a row, and Carolina's won 4 out of the last 5, and their last 3 in a row. Something's got to give. I think these two teams are very close together, closely matched. To me, it's going to come down to a field goal, and if I'm going to get 4 points, I like Carolina.
All right,
you ready to crack one?
Let's crack it.
All right, I'm going to do a blind stop. Yeah, see, it's not that hard.
Peace.